So as typical for a Thursday, this place is trashed. And I am going around and doing maintenance. Lots of these tanks need their substrate siphoned. See, the crib tank's doing really well. The plants are growing very slowly, but I wouldn't expect any more of them. Borneo suckers are doing great. Just have lots of work everywhere that I see to do. Let's spy on the Shelleys for a minute. I pulled 20 more babies yesterday, so those are growing out to have for you guys. Oh look, let's see if it'll come out. There's that female sip. There's the little Synodontis lucipinus. Aren't they cute? It's a little catfish I added. I added 6 of them to this tank. They're starting to get more outgoing as time passes. They're really super cute. I love how they just dart into those shells for seemingly no reason. Everybody has nice fat bellies and is happy. It was this pair here in the middle that I stole their fry. Look at that sassy little face. These are some of the blue eye rainbows I have set up. This is a 75-gallon. So I'm assuming I'll start seeing fry anytime now. In fact, if I looked, I'd probably find some. I love these guys' surly attitudes. So I figured I'd give you guys a little update on this Spec. If you remember correctly, about a month ago, I hacked all those plants back. Really significant pruning, and you can see it's right back to where it was before I pruned it. So guess what? It's time to do it again, and I'm going to do my maintenance on this tank today. Clean it up a bit. My shrimp are breeding like crazy. They're looking great. I need to trim down the hair grass, pull out some algae, and sort of control the chaos that is that hydrocotyl, this plant here. Just need to pull some out and trim stuff up. But all in all, it's doing awesome, and to do this kind of maintenance once a month is no big deal. I do water changes on it in between, but it's relatively easy to just prune plants once a month. And again, this is no CO2, no fertilizer at all. The stock light that came with this Fluval Spec, and just a really good quality substrate, which is the Tropica substrate. I'm going to start by dropping my water line. And as I'm doing this, I'm just going to hover over the plants, try and get some of the detritus that's accumulating. And some of the little snails. I'm not quite sure how I got snails in this tank, but it's not uncommon. So I just suck them up as I'm going. But you can see that the hair grass is continuing to do well. And as part of my maintenance, I gently siphon over the top of it to get any detritus that's accumulated in it out. It's pretty simple. I usually do about a 30% water change on this aquarium. So because of that, I don't need to turn off the filter really. I'm actually kind of impressed. I thought I had hacked it back too much last time. I thought I had taken too much plant matter and that it was gonna take it a lot longer to rebound back to this point, but right away it was back. So I'm just using that little piece of sponge. It's like a magic eraser to clean my glass. Cleaning your glass is really important for the overall aesthetic. And in these little tanks it can be challenging, especially when you have manzanita in them like I do, because there's just not much space for tools. I'm going to clean out my filter. And the tank water that I removed. It's actually pretty filthy. I just squeeze it in the bucket and then put it back in. Get an old towel to put down so I don't get water everywhere. I'm just going to trim up some things. I'm not going to do as big of a haircut as I did last time. More of a shaping this time. Get a little bit of this fuzzy algae on the driftwood, but it's relatively, it looks like a cladophora, but it's pretty easy to remove. And it's only in the spots on the wood that are super high up. So I'm not particularly troubled by it. I also have a whole bunch of this subwassertang in here. It's a liverwort. It's pretty neat, but I'm not at all sure how it got in here, but it's infiltrated the wood in a few spots. But it's a little bit big for the scale I want going on in this tank, so I pull it out in some spots and leave it in others. I do still have some duckweed in this tank that I'm trying to get rid of, so as I see that, I'll pull it out as well. But it's duckweed, so we're in for the long haul here for removal. Now again, I have a well, so I don't have to use any water conditioner or do anything special to my water. I just get the temperature, a little close. I don't even really worry too much about that. That's better. Sound is driving me crazy. All right, now I can scoop out all the plant bits and work on this duckweed. Normally I would use a net, but this tank's so small and I have the wood all the way up to the surface that using my little pincettes here, these guys, I just lift up from the surface and pull out the duckweed. It sticks to it. Makes it easy. Well, actually it's laborious and annoying, but it needs to be done. The reason I don't want duckweed in this tank is that I don't want it to block any of the light getting to the plants since I'm growing hair grass in here. So whenever I'm up here, I actually leave my pincettes beside this tank. Whenever I'm up here and I see duckweed, I just pull it out. And while I wouldn't say I'm winning the war, I am fighting a good battle. The biggest problem for me with duckweed is that if you leave one little tiny piece, it grows back, and that can be one little tiny piece that's trapped in your decor somewhere, or it can be a piece from it getting broken when you were trying to remove it. So that's why I'm kind of going at this so carefully. So I've whacked back that hydrocoatly, done my water change, and cleaned things up, and it looks pretty good. You can see how much plant material I removed. It's actually a fair amount for such a small aquarium. About a baseball or so of plant. Well, maybe more like a golf ball. But everything looks really happy. The shrimp are just gorgeous. These are some nice blues. These are the parents to the ones that I have downstairs, and I have multiple tanks of these so that I can breed them out, and they'll be available again soon. That red plant is the Echinodorus rennie. It stays pretty small. It's especially small in this tank because of the low light and low nutrient content. But as far as swords go, it's pretty appropriate for a smaller aquarium. And then again, I have some unknown crypt in the back right. You can see the subwasser tang in the very front right. My hair grass has filled in pretty nicely. And I have some Buse Catherine there. There's some Anubias Petite, narrow leaf Java Fern, and then the Hydrocotley. And this tank has been a real joy for me because, you know, once a month I have to do some trimming. Otherwise it's simple water changes, and I'm really just enjoying it. And all the plants have done so well. I get very little algae accumulation of any kind. You can see the fish. The chili rasboras are super happy. The shrimp are breeding. You know, and this tank is 6 months old. So still a baby in my terms, but I planted it in July. So that would make it 6 or 7 months old. And all in all, it's been a raging success. I hope you guys enjoy it too. See, Chris has been busy making more seahorses. He made this bigger one. It's about 15 inches tall. That one's still available for sale. Then he made this slightly smaller one. They're pretty awesome. He's out there working now on a cuttlefish that I'll show you guys. So I don't know about where you guys are, but where I am in shorts today, and it is 70 degrees. And what that means is I'm starting to daydream about these things. These are my summer tubs that I have set up to overwinter. And man, if this weather stays like this, I'm going to be able to get them set up sooner rather than later, and I cannot wait. I love moving fish outdoors. I love growing pond plants, and I can't wait to get started on this year's. I'm supposed to be getting another one of these 300 gallons, which is epic. My chickens say hello. Say hi, girls. What are you doing? Yeah? You enjoying the nice weather? That one is. I've thought about doing some chicken videos for you guys too, but I'm not sure how that would go over. Hi, girls. What are you doing? This is Mabel, who does that. She flops, pardon my toes. She flops on the ground and is adorable. And this is my baby Pepper. Pepper, what are you doing? What are you doing? And they are siblings we got from a no-kill rescue. And they have turned out to be such cool cats. Looks better. So I am doing my normal Friday cleanup, which is water changes, vacuuming, wiping down tank glass so that the water spots aren't quite so bad, because customers start in about half an hour. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning now. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's almost always wall-to-wall customers, which is fun. Because, you know, I get to interact with you guys. I don't have to make boxes. You don't have to stress of shipping. But it means I have to get this place cleaned up. Hey guys, I'm back from the pet store and I'm getting ready to unload an order of fish. So I'm just going to get started. Again, as you guys know, I don't do any real acclimation. It is once again gorgeous out today. So it's almost 70 degrees. So I just carried the box in. And I'm going to acclimate or pour fish into a net and drop them in a tank. Did a special order. These are all fish for a customer who's stocking a 600-gallon aquarium. So I got her fish in, and we'll hold them here for her until she's ready for them. I really dislike how these boxes are stacked. It makes it very difficult. Now this is the stuff for me. Well, for you guys. I got in more peacock gudgeons. They look fantastic. I got in dwarf chain loaches. Let's see if you guys can see these. These guys, they're super cute. These are another special order I did for a very good customer. They're a cool fish. I got in some regular coolie loaches so that I can do a species spotlight for you guys. Even though these fish give me the absolute willies. And this is why, this is what they do. I got in some regular otocinclus. I got in some Epistogramma panduro. And I got in some baby pea puffers. The fish are all put away, so I am going to clean up my mess, sterilize my nets, give the fish a few minutes to settle in, and then I'll show you. This is about 30 seconds after putting these guys in their tank. These are just your normal everyday coolie loach. I got 50. Once they get past their first week of quarantine, I'll throw some sand in for them so that they're a little more comfortable, but I like to be able to see their shape really well when they're in the first week especially. Got in some little tiny pea puffers. Sorry, their tank's pretty dark. They're a little thin, so they need some fattening up, but I'll take care of that in no time. Got in a bunch of otocinclus. They have nice round bellies, so they should do well. You can see their gills are a little red, but that's not surprising for just having been shipped. Got in some Epistogramma panduro. Their color's still pretty washed out, but if we give them like an hour or two, they're gonna look stunning. So I'll make sure I update you guys on them after they're settled in. And then I sort of broke my own beliefs here, and I put a heater in this tank because the customer I bought these fish for is putting them into a discus tank that she keeps at 84 degrees. So I want to make sure that while I have them here and I'm housing them in quarantine, these guys are kept at a similar temperature for her. Literally just dumped these in. Their noses haven't fired up yet, but this is 250 rummy nose tetra. We'll take a look at them later too, and I'll show you how they fire up. They're a cool fish. These are the dwarf chain loaches. That's what they do. They're super cute. They'll eat some snails. They're another warm water species, but absolutely adorable. I think too many people keep this fish in too small of a group. The more the merrier with them. So I'm going to get back to cleaning up down here, doing some maintenance. A lot of the tanks still need their substrate or the bottom of the tank siphoned. I do that on every tank I run every week, as well as additional water changes of strictly volume for dilution during the week. All these new guys I just put away. The rummy nose will get 3 water changes a day. Everyone else will get 1 a day. We'll see how they do. They should do great. As always, thanks for stopping by. Gonna get back to work. Make sure you stop by my Instagram, my Facebook, and my website, MsJinx.com. And I hope to see a lot of you at the Big Fish Deal 5, March 10th through 12th in Gaithersburg.